Watch your baby grow from 4 to 40 weeks in stunning 3D. In the next few minutes, you're going to witness the most incredible journey of all, the creation of a human life. It's a story of miraculous transformation, of almost unimaginable growth from a single cell to a complete person. This is a journey that unfolds within, often felt but rarely seen. But today, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll take you from a tiny cluster of cells at week 4 all the way to a fully formed baby at week 40, brought to life in a stunning 3D visualization. For every expectant parent, for anyone who's ever marveled at the mystery of life, this is your guide to the 9 months of pregnancy. Prepare to be amazed as we watch a baby grow week by week. The journey to becoming a person starts with just a single cell, dividing and multiplying with incredible purpose and precision. By the time most women even discover they're pregnant, a whole series of monumental events has already happened. The foundations of a new life are being laid deep within the safety of the womb. We begin our journey at week 4, a point where this new life is barely the size of a poppy seed, yet a complex blueprint for a human being is already taking shape. Let's embark on this breathtaking voyage together. The first trimester. The first trimester, from conception to week 13, is all about building the foundation. It's a time of rapid, intricate changes where the groundwork for every single organ and system in the body is laid. This is the most critical phase, a time when your baby goes from a microscopic ball of cells to a fetus with recognizable human features. Though you may just be getting used to the idea, your baby is already undergoing the most dramatic transformation of their entire 9-month journey. Week 4. At 4 weeks pregnant, your baby is an embryo, a tiny ball of cells just 2 millimeters long now nestled into the lining of your uterus. This is called implantation, and it's a huge step. Despite being no bigger than a poppy seed, the embryo is incredibly complex, organizing itself into 3 distinct layers. These layers are the building blocks for everything your baby will become. One layer will form the brain, nervous system, and skin. Another is destined to become the heart, muscles, and skeleton. And the third will develop into the lungs, liver, and digestive system. The amniotic sac is already forming a protective cushion, and the early placenta is taking shape, getting ready to nourish your baby for the months ahead. Week 5. This week marks a pivotal moment. Now the size of a sesame seed, the embryo looks more like a tiny tadpole than a ball of cells. The biggest news is the formation of the neural tube, which will become the brain, spinal cord, and central nervous system. At the same time, a primitive circulatory system is forming. Deep inside the embryo, cardiac cells have created a tiny tube-like structure. By the end of this week, or the beginning of the next, this primitive heart will begin to pulse, beating around 110 times per minute. It's a microscopic flicker, but it's the start of a heartbeat that will last a lifetime. Week 6. Growth speeds up dramatically in week 6. Your baby is still C-shaped, but big changes are visible. Tiny buds have appeared that will soon become arms and legs. The neural tube along the baby's back is closing, a crucial step for brain and spinal cord development. You can already see the structures that will become the eyes, ears, and mouth starting to form. On a vaginal ultrasound, a doctor might now be able to detect the flutter of the developing heart, a truly momentous milestone for many parents. Week 7. During week 7, it's all about the head and face. The brain is growing so rapidly that the head is much larger than the rest of the body. You can see small depressions that will become nostrils, and the retinas of the eyes are beginning to form. The arm buds from last week have grown into little paddles, and the leg buds are just starting to appear. A major change is also happening inside, as bones begin to replace the soft cartilage of the early skeleton. Week 8. At 8 weeks, your baby is about the size of a raspberry and is starting to look much more human. The embryonic tail is disappearing and the body is straightening out from its C shape. The arms can now bend at the elbows and wrists, and webbed fingers and toes are becoming more defined. Facial features are maturing, with a tiny nose tip and eyelids forming. Almost everything present in an adult is now present in your baby, just in a miniature developing form. Breathing tubes are extending from the throat towards the lungs, and nerve cells are branching out, creating the first primitive neural pathways. Week 9. Welcome to the fetal stage. From this week on, your little one is no longer an embryo, but a fetus. This means the most critical period of organ development is mostly done, and the focus now shifts to growth and maturation. Your baby's arms are growing, elbows are more distinct, and toes are now visible. The eyelids have now grown to cover the eyes completely and will stay fused shut for months to protect the delicate developing optical nerves. Week 10. Your baby is now essentially a miniature, fully formed person. All the essential parts are in place and will spend the next 30 weeks growing and becoming functional. Inside the mouth, tiny tooth buds for baby teeth are forming in the gums. A huge milestone this week is the completion of the diaphragm, the muscle that enables breathing. Your baby will soon start practicing breathing movements, even while surrounded by amniotic fluid. The placenta is also now developed enough to take over the vital job of producing hormones and providing nutrients. Week 11. This week is all about movement and refinement. Your baby is constantly stretching, kicking, and turning, though you probably won't feel it for several more weeks. These movements are crucial for muscle and bone development. The hands and feet are no longer webbed, and individual fingers and toes are free. Your baby can even open and close its tiny fists, and fingernails are beginning to appear. Week 12. As you reach the end of your first trimester, your baby is the size of a lime and is starting to show the first signs of reflexes. The fingers can open and close, the toes can curl, and the mouth can make sucking motions. The kidneys are now working, and your baby is swallowing amniotic fluid, processing it and passing it back out as urine, a cycle that helps develop the digestive and urinary systems. With all the major organs and limbs in place, the most critical developmental phase is complete, and the risk of miscarriage drops significantly. Week 13. Welcome to the last week of the first trimester. Your baby is now the size of a plum. One of the most amazing details to develop this week is fingerprints. The unique patterns on your baby's tiny fingertips are forming and will be set for life. The vocal cords are also forming, a silent preparation for that very first cry. If you're having a girl, her ovaries now contain over 2 million eggs. The baby's head is becoming more proportional to the body, and your own uterus is growing and shifting upwards, which might finally relieve some of that pressure on your bladder. Section 2. The second trimester. Welcome to the second trimester, often called the golden period of pregnancy. From week 14 to week 27, early pregnancy symptoms like nausea often fade, and you might feel a boost of energy. For your baby, this is a time of rapid growth and fine-tuning all the systems built in the first trimester. You'll start to look more pregnant, and soon you'll feel those first amazing flutters of your baby moving. Week 14. Your baby can now squint, frown, and make other facial expressions as their facial muscles develop. A fine, downy hair called lanugo is starting to cover their body to help regulate temperature, though most of it will disappear before birth. Your baby is also starting to make more purposeful movements, like sucking their thumb. Inside the body, the thyroid gland has matured and is producing hormones. Week 15. At 15 weeks, your baby is about the size of an apple and is constantly wiggling, squirming, and moving their limbs and joints. These early movements might feel like a tiny, gentle flutter, if you could feel them at all. The skeleton is continuing to harden as cartilage is replaced by bone in a process called ossification. And here's a fun fact: the taste buds are now formed, and your baby can perceive different flavors from the amniotic fluid, which changes based on what you eat. Week 16. This week marks a huge leap in sensory development. Your baby's ears are in their final position, and the tiny bones of the inner ear and nerve endings from the brain have developed enough for your baby to hear sounds. They can hear your heartbeat, your breathing, and even the rumbles of your digestion. Most importantly, they can hear your voice, which research shows babies learn to recognize in the womb. At the same time, their eyes can now perceive light, so if a bright light shines on your belly, your baby might just move to shield their eyes. Week 17. Now about the size of a pomegranate, your baby is starting to build up fat stores. This fat is crucial for maintaining body temperature and storing energy after birth. The skeleton continues to transform from soft cartilage to hard bone, and the umbilical cord is growing stronger and thicker to keep up with your baby's growing nutritional needs. Unique fingerprints are now set for life. Week 18. Sometime between now and week 22, many first-time mothers experience quickening, that first undeniable feeling of the baby moving. It might feel like a flutter or a swish, but those movements are becoming more coordinated as the nervous system matures. Nerves are starting to form a protective coating of myelin, which allows messages to travel faster between the brain and the body. Week 19. Your baby's skin is now developing a waxy, cheese-like protective coating called vernix cassosa. This substance shields their delicate skin from being submerged in amniotic fluid and also acts as a lubricant to help with delivery. If you're having a girl, her ovaries now contain over 2 million eggs. The baby's head is becoming more proportional to the body, and your own uterus is growing and shifting upwards, which might finally relieve some of that pressure on your bladder. Week 22. Now weighing about 1 pound, your baby is looking more and more like a newborn, just much thinner. Their lips, eyelids, and eyebrows are more distinct. Inside the body, the pancreas is developing steadily, and if you're having a boy, his testes are beginning to descend from the abdomen. For the first time, your baby can now feel your touch through your belly, making this a wonderful new way to bond. Week 23. Your baby's hearing is getting even better. They can now hear a distorted version of sounds from the outside world and may react with a change in movement or heartbeat. You might even feel a rhythmic jerking motion, which means your baby has the hiccups. Their skin is still thin and reddish since the blood vessels are visible right underneath. Week 24. This week marks a major viability milestone. A baby born now has a chance of survival, though they would need intensive medical care. The lungs are developing rapidly, forming branches and producing a critical substance called surfactant. Surfactant prevents the tiny air sacs in the lungs from sticking together, which is essential for breathing after birth. Week 25. Your baby is becoming more responsive, reacting to touch and sound as their nervous system matures. The structures of the spine, 33 rings, 150 joints, and 1,000 ligaments are all forming. As more fat accumulates, their skin is becoming less translucent and plumper. Their sense of balance is now fully developed, so they can tell if they're upside down or right side up in the womb. Week 26. A huge development this week. The fused eyelids can now open and your baby can blink. They also have eyelashes. In response to light, they might turn their head. The baby continues to practice breathing by inhaling and exhaling amniotic fluid, and brainwave activity for the auditory and visual systems shows they are actively processing sounds and light. Melanin, which gives skin and eyes their color, begins to be produced this week. Week 27. As the second trimester closes, your baby is sleeping and waking on a more regular schedule. Their brain is so active that it's believed babies may even begin to dream at this stage. They weigh about 2 pounds now and are about 14 inches long. They recognize your voice and your partner's and may become more active when you speak. Section 3. The third trimester. You've reached the final stretch. The third trimester, from week 28 until birth, is all about packing on the pounds and getting ready for life on the outside. Your baby's organs and systems will finish maturing, and their movements will feel stronger and more distinct. It's the final countdown to meeting your little one as they complete their amazing journey. Week 28. At the start of the third trimester, your baby weighs between 2 and 3 pounds. Their eyes are open and they can blink and distinguish between light and dark. Their lungs are capable of breathing air, but they're still immature. The brain is developing rapidly, forming the characteristic grooves and indentations of a mature brain. Many babies begin to turn into a head-down position around this time, getting ready for birth. Week 29. Your baby's head is growing to accommodate their rapidly developing brain. Their muscles and lungs are maturing, and the skeleton is hardening every day. To support this bone growth, a large amount of calcium is deposited into their skeleton daily. The baby is gaining fat, making them look plumper and less wrinkled. You'll likely feel their kicks and jabs become much stronger now that they're getting more powerful and running out of room. Week 30. Your baby now weighs about 3 pounds, and from this point forward will gain about half a pound each week until they're born. Their eyesight continues to develop, though it will still be quite blurry even at birth. They can open their eyes wide and perceive changes in light. The fine lanugo hair that covered their body is beginning to disappear as the bone marrow has completely taken over producing red blood cells. Week 31. The central nervous system is now mature enough to help control body temperature, so your baby is less reliant on the amniotic fluid for warmth. They are able to process information from all 5 senses. The types of movements you feel may be changing. Instead of big flips, you might feel more sharp kicks and elbow jabs as space gets tighter. Week 32. Your baby is practicing for life on the outside, swallowing, breathing, and kicking. Their fingernails and toenails are now fully formed. As more fat accumulates under the skin, the soft, downy lanugo continues to shed. Many babies will have settled into their final head-down birth position by this week, which is ideal for labor. Week 33. The bones in your baby's skeleton are hardening, but the bones of the skull remain soft and separated. This allows them to shift and overlap slightly, called molding, which helps the baby's head pass through the birth canal more easily. The pupils can now constrict and dilate in response to light, and the protective waxy vernix on their skin is getting thicker. Week 34. Your baby is now about 4.5 pounds, their lungs are well developed, and their nervous system is mature. If you're having a boy, his testicles should now have descended into the scrotum. The baby is also receiving important antibodies from you through the placenta, which will help them protect them from illness after birth. Week 35. Growth is the main event now. Your baby will gain 1/3 of their final birth weight in the next 5 weeks alone. The brain is undergoing another period of rapid growth. Because they're so much bigger, the baby fills almost the entire amniotic sac. You'll still feel wiggles and stretches, but the powerful kicks might become less frequent as they run out of room. Week 36. Your baby is now considered early term, which means their lungs are mature and they are getting ready for life outside the womb. They have coordinated reflexes so they can blink, turn their head, grasp firmly, and respond to sound, light, and touch. The head and abdomen are now about the same circumference. Week 37. Congratulations! Your baby is now considered early term, which means their lungs are mature and they are getting ready for life outside the womb. They have coordinated reflexes so they can blink, turn their head, grasp firmly, and respond to sound, light, and touch. The head and abdomen are now about the same circumference. Week 38.
In these final weeks, your baby's main job is to put on more fat, which will help them regulate their body temperature after birth. They likely weigh close to 6.5 pounds now. They have a firm grasp, which you'll soon be able to test with your own finger. They're shedding the last of the vernix and lanugo into the amniotic fluid, and their intestines are accumulating meconium. Week 39. As you approach your due date, your baby is officially full term, which means their lungs are mature and they are getting ready for life outside the womb. They have coordinated reflexes so they can blink, turn their head, grasp firmly, and respond to sound, light, and touch. The head and abdomen are now about the same circumference. Week 40. At 40 weeks, your baby is ready to meet you. The average baby is about 20 inches long and weighs over 7 pounds, but there's a wide range of normal. All of their organ systems are developed and ready for life on the outside. They might have a full head of hair, and their fingernails may even extend past their fingertips. They know your voice and are comforted by the rhythm of your heartbeat. The incredible 9-month journey from a single cell to a complete human being is finally complete. The next chapter is about to begin. This miraculous 9-month journey is a true testament to the wonder of life. If you found this journey as awe-inspiring as we did, please subscribe to our channel for more content exploring the miracles of the human body. Share this video with an expectant parent or anyone who would appreciate this stunning look at development. And if you're on this journey yourself, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What week are you in? From a cluster of cells smaller than a grain of rice to a fully formed, breathing, and feeling person, the development of a baby is nothing short of a miracle. Over 40 weeks, a perfectly orchestrated sequence of events builds a human being, complete with unique fingerprints, the ability to dream, and the comfort of a parent's voice. We hope this journey has given you a deeper appreciation for this incredible process. To all the parents and parents-to-be watching, congratulations on being part of this adventure. The journey inside the womb has ended, but a new and wonderful one is just beginning.